I try to reach deep within the heart of that person for a message, for an inspiration, for a lesson, for an information, something that can change another person's perspective, or at least challenge the status quo. That's really what I do on Passion TV. I want to tell stories. I'm trying to tell stories. Are you listening? Welcome to the program today. My name is Sebasi Valentine, and if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, kindly do. There's a lot that you can benefit from what we do. Today I'll be talking with a farmer, a very unique one, a young man. You know, back then you would say someone is a farmer. It wasn't something somebody can gloat about. It wasn't something someone would be very proud of because of the drudgery that was associated with farming. But thanks to mechanized farming, thanks to the money in farming, what would we eat without farmers? What would we grow? What can we do without farmers? I find it difficult to spell the words in my heart without a farmer. So I'm sitting with Daniel Block, my friend. Last time on the show, we mentioned his name a lot. I thought it was nice that we bring him on the show. He's been on the show before, and he's here again. Let's talk about this interesting farmer and what he's doing. Gentlemen, how are you?
I'm fine, I'm
Do
good.
farmers shake hands?
No, we don't.
But your hand is very clean. Let me look at your nails.
Oh, wow.
Jesus Christ. Wait, it's so clean. Do you actually farm?
Were you the sanitary prefect in your school?
Yes, I was.
Oh, you should have told me. I would have come prepared.
Black,
Yes.
don't do that today.
What?
Be nice.
What?
Why would you ask me if I was a sanitary prefect?
Why would you check my
What
nails while
happens
we're
to
talking
the-
about Agric?
But that wasn't very funny, you know, back then. But it's actually very, I'm just commending
Thank you very
you.
much, ladies and gentlemen, for coming on the show. My name is Daniel Black, and I'm a farmer.
I
Thank
noticed
you.
your ring.
Oh, wow, yeah,
The last
yeah,
time
yeah,
we
yeah.
were here, you didn't have a ring on.
Didn't I? Maybe I forgot it.
Keep flaunting. I'll throw it out. Thanks for joining the program today.
Thank you for having me. It's
So
always
who
a
are
pleasure
you?
coming.
Is it a pleasure?
Yes, yes,
You're
yes.
having pleasure?
It's always a pleasure being here. Who am I?
Yes.
Over the past 2 years, getting to 3, I've been very happy and proud to say the following lines. My name is Daniel Black, and I am a farmer.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That landed so well. Did you plan it like that?
No, I didn't plan it. It has just come out by virtue of series of interactions, and I'm speaking with people, and I have come to be so passionate and proud to identify myself as a farmer.
Why?
Yes. You see, it's a niche that was there, for some reason, was left unattended to, and then I think by sheer providence, we are getting back the understanding,
Farming
the clarity.
is getting back its pride of place.
Yes,
in
agriculture,
humanity.
farming is getting, no, don't say in humanity. I'm talking about Africa, I'm talking about Akwa Ibom states.
Okay.
Humanity, that's globally, had gone far, had done so much with farming.
Oh my
We are just running, trying to meet up with how far they've gone.
Oh wow.
So it has been a wonderful experience since I ventured into farming, since I ventured into
What did you
agriculture.
study in school?
We're in Nigeria, so that doesn't matter.
I'm just asking. It's okay. I studied biology education.
Nice to know.
But this is what I'm doing. It's okay.
Yes, I'm a farmer.
What did you study in school?
Okay, if you must know, I did biochemistry.
Oh, bio.
Chemistry, yes.
Okay. How's that doing right now with you?
Oh wow,
For
it's doing very fine. It's helping me. It's
in the box.
No. It's the certificate that is in the box. But
Okay.
the knowledge that was gotten from going to university,
Okay.
from actually studying biochemistry,
It's helping
it
in
has
the
helped
farming
me.
too?
Yes, it has helped me in leaps and bounds in the sense that I actually don't have to go back to the nursery, the preparatory class of farming.
Okay.
I can actually skip those classes because I did biochemistry.
And you understand.
Yes, I understand some
chemicals.
very basic terminologies, basic processes in the agriculture, and so it has helped me a whole lot in making things better and easier and faster, and also adapting to the new world system, the modernized method of doing things.
Why did you go into farming? At what point did you find farming something very interesting, something lucrative, something to be proud of, like you are right now?
Yes, you see, I wouldn't be able to tell this story without mentioning the man that actually pushed me. I would use the word push to that path. You see, when a man's life is to some extent determined by the company he keeps. Okay, so I was opportuned to be in company of a very, very broad-minded, versatile-minded individual in the person of Honorable Ekanem Brown, who happens to be the executive chairman of Mkpareni local government area. I was in his company, and he shared his dream for Mkpareni local government and people from Mkpareni.
I guess at this point, I no longer need to ask where you're from.
No, please. In fact, if you're asking, then it's a blow to me that you, being my friend for so many years, would be asking where I'm from. Haven't I been saying it loud enough? Oh, wow, okay. That's a dent on me. So I'm from Mkpareni. I'll be saying that throughout the whole of this event. Throughout the whole of this show.
So you're coming in contact with...
Yes. I came in contact with him, and he now, I think, sort of through the process of, should I say, diffusion, pushed the passion of agric into me. And then when I now came in contact, through him, I started interacting with agricultural specialists. I started interacting with experts. I started going into the field of agriculture through his agric revolution in Mkpareni local government area. And I began to see, that blind man where Jesus asked him, can you see? And he says, I see men as trees. Yes, there was a time in agriculture I was seeing men as trees. I was just looking and I'm like, wow. And
Is
then...
it possible that I get to do this wow by the end of the show? What did he tell you that changed your mind, that changed your perspective towards agriculture?
Yes.
What did he say?
He told me, and mostly everybody that cared to listen, that agriculture is an untapped gold mine. For the south of Nigeria, for Akwa Ibom State, for Mkpareni with all the natural resources, the abundant fertile lands we have, the agric produces that are possible to grow in Akwa Ibom State, the value chain that can be increased in agriculture. He told me that any young man that is sitting down and complaining of lack of job, of lack of what to do, is just, in quotes, a result or an example of illiteracy. Yes. Illiteracy not in the educational aspect, but illiteracy in information, illiteracy in knowledge.
Okay.
Yes. So, coming into contact with him, going on assignments that he sent me, and that exposed me to experts, that exposed me to procedures, that exposed me to possibilities. I then saw the vision, I then saw the possibilities of agriculture in Akwa Ibom State, in Mkpareni, and in Nigeria as a whole.
Would you like to share some of them?
Oh, yes. You see, prior to this time, the only things Akwa Ibom produced was cassava, and probably plantain, and probably palm oil in subsistent quantities. We never, I don't know at what point this myth came that we cannot grow vegetables. We cannot grow cucumber in Akwa Ibom State.
Watermelon.
We cannot grow watermelon. We cannot grow okra. Then I came into contact with people that showed me these are possible, that we can grow cucumber on our soil, that we can grow watermelon on our soil.
What about onions?
Oh, my dear, it is very, very possible. In the south here, we can actually generate every food we eat in Akwa Ibom State. And so for an educated mind, for a broad mind, you can imagine what the feeling I had. Wow. This is a question that needs to be answered, and I couldn't wait to be part of the answer.
So for 2 years, how has it been?
2 years plus has been a wonderful experience. Has been ups and downs, but I assure you, even the downs has been lovely. Has been lovely all the way. Now, this is not me talking like the motivational speaker, but this is me telling you the experiences I have had and the lessons I have had to learn, and the results that I have come in contact with that has told me, Black, anything is possible.
Okay. What do you grow?
Yes. In agriculture, I have picked a niche, generally, or specifically, I'm a vegetable farmer. Every kind of vegetable you can think of: okra, carrots, lettuce, cabbage, cucumber, pepper, Please, help me mention them.
Do you know that I've been on a diet that demands a lot of lettuces?
Wow, so you're one of my market. All right, I'll put you on my list.
I didn't see it that way.
No. That's the business part of Agric, and that's just how I think about it.
Okay.
So you talk about lettuce, you're talking about diet. I need to find out how many types of you are there. I need to put you in a group, put you in a box, and I'm sure that, yes, I have steady supply of lettuce.
Is that even nice to say?
Yes. This is me answering your question. This is me answering a problem you have.
I forgot it was you.
Thank you.
Okay, so for 2 years, there's been ups and downs.
Very much.
Let's start with the ups. I like good news. I like beautiful stories. I love testimonies.
Yes. Okay, so the ups has been the ability to grow things that otherwise people thought that could not be grown.
I saw your pictures with cucumbers. You were actually eating them, and I'm like,
you know that feeling
oh,
when.
and thanks for the cucumbers on my birthday.
I thought you'd forget. No,
that was one of the most amazing birthday gifts I received.
Cucumbers?
The okra.
Did you say, no, cucumbers are the most amazing birthday gifts. Did you just say that?
No, that's.
All right, okay.
I'm saying.
I gave you cucumbers.
You gave me
but
cucumbers
hand to God,
from your from your farm.
I gave you edible cucumbers. Edible cucumbers.
Vegetables. I'm just
All right,
saying.
thank you.
Oh my God.
All right, so please don't cut me again so that you don't say such things. Thank you. All right, so do you know that feeling when people come to your farm and are like, wow,
Yeah.
can this grow? And you're like smiling and like, yeah, I'm God.
Oh wow.
In agriculture.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you're feeling, you know that feeling that, in the Bible it says, and it looked good.
Oh yeah.
After creation, it looked good. I have a teeny tiny bit of that feeling. When people come and say, wow, is this possible? And I'm like, and it looked good. Okay. Yeah, so those have been the ups. Okay. The downs has been, there's actually a knowledge gap.
I was hoping you're going to tell me how much you also make. I mean, ups.
Oh, wow. Yes, I would love to mention figures, but for your safety. So that they don't get to...
Just so that I don't ask you to land properly on the show.
No. Do you do landing here? Listen. Prior to now...
without landing.
Yes. Prior to now, I was a party to landing.
Akwaibom beyond oil. Akwaibom with landing.
Hello.
Hi.
Prior to now, I was part of the landing myth. If you see somebody that is supposedly a very wealthy man, a politician, they must be landing at the end of the meeting. But nowadays, I don't wait for that. I'm too busy to be waiting for landing. Why are you making me feel
like a horrible person right now? Because you're going to land on the show. I mean, the ups also...
Yes, I land with edible cucumbers, okra...
That's not bad.
Pepper.
That's not bad.
If that would suffice for landing, then I'm fine.
That would do.
It's okay. So
we're going to the farm. I'm getting some cucumbers. I'm also getting okra. I'm getting pumpkin.
What else would you want?
Watermelon.
Watermelon. You like them big?
Very big.
Okay.
Red.
So for the downs, yes, we have had periods where we had losses because you see, most times not everything that is in the book is what is applicable in the field. We have insects that are new.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and then you see them, and then before you are able to trace the particular insecticide that would be able to handle them.
They must have destroyed your crops.
Yes, those things happen. You have issues of maybe rainfall, excessive rainfall. It also affects the crops. You also have, so many unplanned incidences also occur.
But with these difficulties, there are those are opportunities for advancement.
Yes, you see, that's why I told you when you said...
Research.
Not just research. You see, the problems we are actually facing in Africa has already been researched and resolved.
Okay.
So we are way back. You see, listen, there's something called precision farming. Precision farming is an AI or a technological type of farming where before you farm, you can actually decide. You can actually tell the exact amount of result you get. It tells you the specific nutrient matrix in each location of your farm. It tells you what will grow where and when and how. So you don't waste your time planting what will not grow.
How does it happen? Is there an application? Sorry.
No, there are gadgets. It's a process.
Okay.
Yes, it's a process.
Can you afford that? Is it affordable? Is it
when you use the okay, yeah, you say accessible. Affordable, affordability is a relative term.
Okay.
Yes, so it's affordable to who is actually out to get it, but we're talking about accessibility.
Can afford it.
Government can afford it. So many individuals building hotels and filling stations can actually afford it.
Daniel Black can afford it.
A Daniel Black, yes, a Daniel Black with the pace I'm going can afford it.
Amazing.
I want to be the first set of mechanized, technologically driven agriculture farmers that would be able to bring in those equipments. We have drone powered insecticides. We have drone powered irrigation systems.
Things in videos made from China.
We are going to have them here in Akwa Ibom State in a short period.
I look forward to it.
So, I would be able to cultivate 100 hectares of land, and I'd be able to do that plant in one day. 100 hectares, let me give you an idea. A football field is 1 hectare. Okay. So multiply that by 100, and then imagine me sitting down in one day to plant.
One day?
The whole of 100 hectares.
That's possible?
Very, very possible. And then that would solve the problem of food sufficiency. Exactly. I would comfortably plant on 100 hectare that should comfortably solve the food problem of a local government.
Wow.
But if we are still doing manual labor, imagine plowing that. I would use almost 2 months to plant on 100 hectare or even more.
A lot of tiredness.
Losses, a lot of tiredness. You see, fatigue will set in at some point, and then where I'm supposed to be planting at 12-inch gap, I might be blurry and plant at a higher gap or a lesser gap. Where I'm supposed to apply fertilizer round, I'll be applying probably and killing, and so a whole lot of things coming into manual.
What do you need to be done for these things to happen? If you come in contact with an investor, with government, with the governor, and
thank you for saying government, because investors would have little or no power. Most of these things need policy, needs approval. You see, a comic thing that happened. My uncle recently came in for a program. He stays abroad, and he recently came in. Now he's not into media, but he just fancied the idea of drones, so he bought a drone. And probably I know that the guys in the media know how they bring it down, but since he was just a regular individual, the kind of search he went through, the kind of scrutiny he went through, just because there was a drone in his box, they had to what?
He looked like a terrorist.
Why am I bringing that in? You see, before you can bring in most of these gadgets, you need the government to give you approval. Okay. You need them to intervene. You need them to come in and say, yes, we know this guy, or yes, bring them in. So if the government had a warehouse or had a place where they brought in these things, there is this kind of machine that helps you harvest. There's this machine that helps you plant. There's this machine that helps you water, that helps you spray insecticides, that helps you do on-the-spot soil assessment. And the government brings it in. And then, see, what I usually solicit for, I call it input-based empowerment. I don't support any government that gives money to farmers. I don't want money. Please don't give me money. Bring me these things. I know how to use them. I want to use them.
What things, please?
Inputs, agricultural inputs, from machines to seedlings, insecticides, fertilizers, and a whole lot of this. There's a whole lot of value chain that if government or probably the mega big private sector individuals could come into, we wouldn't have food problem. We would not need to bring onions all the way from the north. We would not need to bring potatoes all the way from the north. And then it would cut the transport, so therefore cutting the cost. And then you would have you should be able to use 200 naira and buy a custard pail of potatoes. How would that feel? I love chips. I love potato chips a lot. So imagine I was able to achieve that without so much stress.
Wow. Okay.
So this is not me trying to make it look all bad. The government is trying to do a lot. But I think they're doing it the wrong way. Yes, I think they're doing it the wrong way. Can I give an instance?
Yes, please.
I'd say there's a whole lot of political farmers in Akwa Ibom State. If you go to a very long, old-standing registry of farmers in the Ministry of Agriculture, you will see a long list, and you would be so proud that we have farmers. But unfortunately, those are farmers that just come out for farming events, that come out for ceremonial events, wear uniforms, put their names on the list, and collect a whole lot of chunk of money, but they don't actually do the farming.
They don't own farms.
They don't own farms, let alone farm. And these people are scattered across the whole the whole state, so that they get to form a network.
Workers, they're ghost farmers.
They are, do I call them ghosts? They are real people that actually come out to collect the money and all. I don't know, ghost workers. Yeah,
farmers.
pretending to be farmers. They come with hoes and a whole lot of things. So the government, I think, is doing it in the wrong way. There should be, now, this list I am telling you, I don't remember when last there was a screening or an auditing or a new list. I think the government should go out and accredit farmers. Come to your farm, see the size of your farm, see the capacity, probably give you an ID card or an identification number. This will help trickle down inputs. The government has tried. There are some inputs, yes, one or two that they bring into town and they share it among political farmers, people that use it in their houses, people that sell it off at outrageous prices to the actual farmers.
Oh, God.
So I think government should, if government want to take agriculture seriously, and they should because, listen, why agriculture has become important right now is because the population is increasing.
Oh, yeah?
Imagine that 10 years ago, we used to farm 10 hectares of, for example, 10 hectares of land, and we were just 1 million then. Today, possibly we are 6 million, and we are still farming 10 hectares. How does that correlate?
So you do agree to the closure of border to increase?
That's you diverting, but if I must respond to that, I think there's a systematic way of things to be done. That I think the abrupt closure of border is jumping from step 1 to step 6. There is step 1,
There is 2.
there's 2, there's 3, there's 4.
Okay.
Now, step 1 would have been mass sensitization. This is me thinking.
Cool.
Mass sensitization.
Office
Step
of the citizen, speak.
Step 2 would have been, now, government intervention. Listen, do you know that most farmers, I would be very happy to invest my money in my farm if I was sure that I have this land for the next 99 years. So many farmers don't have access to C of O. So, you see, we are farming with a risk that anytime, should government wake up and say, want to build one international worship center here, they can take up the land. And all the things, irrigation system and everything that we have put into that place would have been a waste. But if individuals, if farmers were given big plots of lands, given C of O's, apart from the assurance that C of O gives you on that land, you can actually take that C of O to the international market and get facilities, financial facilities to do these things. But you know, you don't have these things. If you go to a bank to ask for money, they say, what do you have? You say, I'm farming. They say, on that land, is it your land? You say, yes. They say, do you have C of O? You say, no, and the conversation ends there. It ends there. So I think these things should have been put in place. Before you close the border, do we have 1,000 hectares of land in at least 20 states that are planting? If we had, I would say, good, please close the borders. Do we have farmers, just like, okay, we are bringing rails into Nigeria, and I heard that some people were sent to go and learn how to plan, how to manage the railway, the trains and all. Do we have 1,000 farmers per state that have been sent out to go and learn modern ways of farming, and you bring them back and then you close the borders? I'd be very happy with you. But so why is a father telling his children not to go out by 6 in the night? He locks the door when by 4 he did not send them to go and buy food. What will happen by 8 when everybody's hungry? There would be a room to flout his order. Children will start jumping out of the window. So I think closing of the borders is step 6. Probably the last step that should have been done. So I just think it's the right thing that was done at the wrong time. Okay. But don't ask me that question again.
Okay.
Nigeria is very political.
Yeah, I get that part.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. You've really broken tables, you know that, right? Anyway. So, what other thing, remember the question really was, if you came in contact with governments or if you had a chance to...
Thank you for bringing me back to that. Now, apart from actually farming, you know, when we say agriculture, there's a whole, it's a value chain. Sorry, I'm very passionate about this, so I may answer your question with so much time. Listen, let me tell you this. You see, policy also matters. Let me give you a very basic thing. Now, when my wife wanted to give birth, they gave me a list. And on that list, I saw olive oil as part of the things that I need to provide for them to use in the labor room and all. But do you know that coconut oil is far more efficacious than olive oil? So why don't we have olive oil as part of the requirements. Coconut oil, sorry. As part of the requirement, olive oil, if they've started producing in Nigeria, I'm not aware, but to me, it's an imported product.
Okay.
If coconut oil were made as a policy, all general hospitals say, please bring coconut oil.
Wow.
As when a woman is about to deliver, people will go in and look for coconut oil, and then the demand will skyrocket. Whoever is doing coconut oil now that is doing 10 bottles a month
would increase that.
And would so. Policy.
More sales.
Yes.
Wow.
No. So there's a whole lot. When I say sensitization, when I say policy, if you want to start listing so many things that could be done, there are a whole lot. But you know the plantain stem that when we finish cutting the bunch, we cut these ones and throw away. That is 100% fertilizer. In fact, most of the fertilizers, the liquid fertilizers that are brought into Nigeria, is 100% plantain stem that is just extract, yes, plantain extract with little additions. So it is as simple as just removing these other brown bags, chopping these guys off, and then grinding it and squeezing it. The extract you get from there is a very efficacious fertilizer. Pour it on your vegetables and oh my, you will have organically grown vegetables that you eat and you feel fresh.
The trunk of the plantain.
The trunk of the plantain. Yes, that when we cut this bunch, we cut it off and we throw it away. Yes, that's a very efficacious fertilizer. In fact, in some countries, people don't go through the whole process of chopping them off. They actually just plant on them. Now, if you plant on plantain trunks, you can plant them, you can plant year in, year out, rainy season, dry season. You know why? There's a constant supply of water and nutrients in the plantain trunk. So even in the dry season, you don't need to water. You don't need to come out and water. So imagine that. Sorry.
Okay.
Imagine that I outlined 1,000 plantain trunks here. In your backyard, for example, if you had space. After we've cut off the bunch, we just bring the trunks, line, boreholes, and then we plant on them. Hello. All right. So there's a whole lot to be done. Policy. Before we close the borders, policies need to be put in place, government intervention, because there are some things that just cannot be done by individuals. There are just some things that cannot be done by individuals. Government needs to come into place. So
I guess we'll make you a regular on the show, so more of these discoveries we could talk about.
That's if I have not broken a table that will make me fall.
No, you would not fall. No. The office of a citizen is very powerful. They wouldn't joke.
Yeah, I hope we strengthen that office. That office is very powerful, and we've not realized the strength. We are yet to utilize the full capacity of that office.
We're getting there. We'll keep talking.
Yes.
So, is there anything that you're up to that we should know, that you would want us to be part of?
Oh wow. When you say we, I'm talking to young people.
Yeah.
Like I said, farming, agriculture has become very interesting. There's a whole lot of possibility. There's a whole lot of opportunity.
If I have 100,000 naira to invest in agriculture,
I'm not gonna respond to that on live TV. You know why? Like I said, there will be ups and downs. We do the mistake of enticing people with financial returns, and they jump in, and then they come in and reality sets in, and then they're like, hello, this is not what you said, and you get to have a whole lot of back and forth.
What's the reality that we should check
back and forth. It's a business, the agri part of business. There's a whole lot of, you see, so many farmers, subsistent farmers, are very unaware of the agri part of business. In fact, that's why precision farming comes into play. Apart from just planting, harvesting, and selling, there are so many other factors you need to put in place to make agriculture profitable and to make it encouraging so that you can decide to come into farming. Since we heard about our great-grandfathers, our aged parents that were always dirty, that were always tired, that were always haphazard-looking. Those are the mindset we have about farming. But if we begin to see the business side of farming, of agriculture, where we begin to put into factors such as space, like now, where God has taken me to in farming, I cannot farm on 1 hectare of land again. It's not useful. It's unprofitable. Yes. In as much as it will be very cheap for me to farm on 1 hectare of land, bring in inputs, plant and all that, I cannot. Now, so you need to put into consideration what is the manpower that I'm bringing into play? What is you're bringing in 10 people to come and farm on one hectare of land. Yes, they've done the work faster, but by the time you make the yield, is it enough to pay 10 people and still remain for you to reinvest?
That's true.
Are we together?
Yeah, sure.
The time frame. What am I planting? What am I using to sustain while I'm planting? So I have used this size of land to plant a crop that will take 10 months. Within these 10 months, what is my sustainability plan? So you find out that people plant and then go home and stay hungry. And everybody's like, nothing. You get? So before you decide to go into long-term crops, you should have done short-term crops that will keep you alive to wait for the long-term crops. So you see, as a farmer, you bring in all these indices and all these basics, and you enjoy farming.
Okay. Thank you very much.
So, but just to answer your question, you see, I invite a whole lot of young people to get to know, get to study, open up. There's a whole lot of value chain. In Akwa Ibom State, in the South, we are a whole lot into eating. We eat. We plant cassava, we eat. We use it to do ditaiwa, we use it to do fufu, and all that, we use it to do gari, and all that is what? Eating.
We don't export.
We plant, no, hold on, I'm coming. We have coconut. In Barenin, we have the whole abundance of coconut. And what do? We use it to eat fresh fish, we use it to take it with gari. You've not had coconut with
fresh fish?
Ice fish?
Coconut, ice fish.
Yes, parboiled. Oh, God. You missed a lot. I used to see you as someone that has had a lot of experiences, and this is not part of them. Please, you owe me a visit, or I owe you, no? You owe me a visit.
Whatever, I'm going to have it. But
yes.
coconuts.
Please visit me in the daytime. You know I'm married, right? Okay, thank you. So I was going somewhere. Coconuts. We have maize. Wonderful. We plant maize, and we just eat it with pear and so many other absurd things.
That's yummy.
But do you know that there's a value chain that has been untapped?
Tell me about it.
For example, maize. Do you know that maize is the major condiment of chicken feed? So if you planted maize, no matter the quantum, and at the end of the day, don't bother about selling to people that roast on the roadside. You actually grinded it and supplied it to chicken feed makers. It is just two other components that are added to maize.
And chicken feed is
made with little other nutrients. So by the time we continue thinking of eating, the first question, most questions people ask me, do you have market? Do you have market? Stop thinking of the market that will eat. Do you know that? Okay, I talked about coconut oil, what it can be done.
Yeah.
Yes. The first item I had mentioned was okay. So cassava. Okay, beautiful. Do you know that alcohol, ethanol? Okay, not alcohol, still alcohol, but ethanol that is used to make methylated spirits, that is used in the hospital. Do you know it's a direct derivative of cassava? So the moment young people stop thinking of, do you have market? And the thing is, do you have market of people that will eat? So when they ask you, you want to go into farming, would you have people that will buy? Perishable, your vegetables are perishables. Do you have people that will buy? Stop thinking of people that will buy and eat. Start thinking of people that will buy it and use for other things. You will find out that there will come a time where we don't even have enough to give to people that will eat. That will encourage you to go back to your village, that fallow land. Pay somebody in the village 3,000 and they will clear it up. You put in cassava, and then you are sure. You begin to research. You are an ICT, you begin to find out. You tell people that you have cassava. People will come, collect your cassava, go and distill it and remove ethanol, and make a whole lot of things from it. And make even the beer we drink. Do you know that there's a cassava beer?
I don't drink beer.
You don't drink beer? You should try it.
Thank you.
It's nice sometimes. So please, basically, I invite young people to learn to check the value chain.
Okay.
Don't just come and plant. Don't come and get dirty. Probably you don't like being dirty. Check the value chain. There are a whole lot of things you can tap into. Do you know that if we had, people are saying politicians empower me. If we have somebody that is agri-specific in the transport sector, most times when I want to bring in cucumber from my farm in Baden to Uyo, I have to struggle space with passengers and other loads. And probably by the time we land in Uyo, my cucumbers have gotten smashed and all that. But if we had someone that was specifically transporting agric products, he would actually have a truck that is agric-friendly, probably padded with foams around to cushion effect of bad roads. And then he would be having calls on daily, please come and carry my cucumber. People are looking for it in here and there and there and there.
That's business.
Oh my God. Do you know that there are specific tanks that you can actually transport your orange for 4 days without it getting rotten? Your apple, your perishables, your cucumber. So if we had somebody bring in such a truck that you put in your perishables, your pepper, and you transport it from here to Ogun State, and it goes out still as fresh as you plucked it, such person will be in high demand. Most of the people that have cool trucks, cool room trucks, I don't know how they call it, cooling trucks, they use it for events where they carry drinks to people to drink and eat. We don't have specific cool trucks. How do they call it? I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
We get the gist.
Yes, yes. We don't have specific for agri produce. You cannot be struggling to put pepper or to put your extract, your cucumber extract, your cucumber juice with a cooling van. Yes, a cooling van that has beer and ice block in it. No, it should be specific so that you don't contaminate my agri produce. Sorry, I'm taking plenty of your time, but there's a whole lot that youths can do. When we say agriculture, we are not saying come and till the ground. It's not everybody that does that. I do that. I enjoy doing that. But there's a whole lot you can do to make my tilling easier. I don't have to finish tilling and start thinking of how to take my stuff to you and start thinking of how to market it. Young people can actually begin to set up themselves as hubs. Call all the farmers you know. Be the central point for cucumber. So that by the time I'm done, I don't think of selling. I just bring all the cucumber to you. You don't plant one thing. You just sit down, get all the cucumber. Then you now serve as a link. Look for the people that now buy the cucumber. Set up a network with cucumber sellers, fruit sellers across the states. That is a niche. Sorry, my dear. Sorry, I'm getting angry. Sorry.
I know passion when I say it. I saw a lot of it here. I hope that we get to the point where we take these things to heart, bring it out from our hearts and put it in our hands and actually run with them. Thank you very much for coming on the program and for sharing all
Why
of
are you
that
ending the
knowledge.
program on a low pitch, on a low tone?
No, I'm just wowed. I'm amazed.
No.
Honestly.
We can't end the program. We can't plummet now.
No, this is not
Listen.
This is the height of it.
No. I'm used to orgasms, orgasmic endings.
Okay.
Yes. So
Thank
please.
you
Hello.
very much for watching the show. Is this height enough? Can we end the show now?
It's your show. I just hope I don't get to have a show someday.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Daniel Black, the farmer, for coming on the show. That was very exposing. That was revealing. We loved it. I loved it. So when next we're recording, we'll bring you to give us some more of this juice. That was a lot. I hope I can contain it.
Who has juice, you or me?
Okay, thank you. We go now.